Hi, I'm John Bodo from Unix Surplus, and today we're going to look at our Rackable SAS or SATA disk array system. This is a great machine that reflects the new technology that's coming out with storage. You have one central one-use server or something small to run all your NAS or network mounting, your filer style head, and then you have one large disk array to run your JBOD drives. It's completely modular. This is a one-use server, and then here's a 4-use storage array right here. The real heart of this whole combo is this little bad boy here. This is a LSI SAS or SATA. It's mainly SAS based, but you can put SATA drives with it. It supports up to 64 drives on a hardware RAID. It has a battery-backed write cache of 1 gigabyte. That thing plugs into this whole one-use server here, and this machine has a quad-core 2.33 gigahertz Intel CPU. Can hold up to 64 gigs of memory. You have dual SAS 2.5-inch hard drives if you want to do mirrored boot hard drives, and you have remote management. In the disk array portion, you can chain as many disk arrays as you want. Just keep adding them to each other and plug them down the line. Because there you go. This unit has 16 hard drive bays. This one doesn't have hard drives in it right now, but you can put either 15,000 RPM SAS hard drives, which will have very low latency, or you can put inexpensive, high capacity 7,000 RPM SATA hard drives. We recommend that you use enterprise SATA hard drives, not Greenline hard drives or desktop PC hard drives. Desktop PC hard drives will spin down, they'll take forever to spin back up in your RAID group, and you'll have very high data latency. So let's take we'll look at a few more of the components. This is fully buffered memory that is much faster than anything else on the market. It runs at 1 gigahertz speed for the memory bus. A lot faster than what you're going to find with the AMD CPUs. You have in here Intel. It supports up to dual quad-core CPUs right here. You have USB onboard boot. Then you have the Rackable Roamer management card. This Rackable Roamer Ethernet management card boots off of DHCP, gets you an IP address, and it'll give you basically a web services or THCP or SSH for all serial console on the system board, or for remote power management on and off. The system runs on AC power, 110 or 220 volts, so you guys, folks in Europe, will have no problems working with this machine. So let's power up our system and our disk array. Just hit the power switch on the back. We'll power up our disk array in the front. We'll power up our system right here on the system power button. And this gives us a little time to talk about different RAID arrays this supports. With 16 hard drives, you can have tiered RAID, which is RAID 0 and 1. That means that you can actually stripe across many disk arrays, which is RAID 1, and then mirror those pairs. This gives you twice the read performance, and then all the 4 times the write performance, because you write to 4 hard drives at once. So you get 8 times your read by reading from 8 hard drives at once, and you get 4 times performance. That's mirrored tiered RAID, which is very important. Otherwise, you can support RAID 5 for capacity, RAID 6 for reliability, and you can any type of RAID selection. You can support multiple different types of hard drives on the same bus, SATA or SAS if you want a high performance array, and then a large mass storage array. It's all done through this LSI Mega RAID SAS controller. It's got hardware backup and 1 gig of hardware write cache. So this makes it a real high performance storage unit. Alright, so let's take a look at the BIOS on this machine. Now we're booted in the head or the NAS head. This runs an Intel S5000 PSL system board, which is very common. All Intel system board, Intel drivers, Intel, everybody loves it. It works great. Everybody develops for it. It's got an E-series CPU, which is 80 watts, 2.33 gigahertz quad core in the machine. It supports up to 2 CPUs. We can take a look at our memory configuration here. You can see all the different memory speeds, etc., what's installed. You have just USB configuration for different USB support and booting. It actually is so complicated. This is actually the most common problem our customers have, is booting and finishing USB configuration. You can see here our PCIe configuration here. We have standard security, passwords, full server management. This is really good. You have different OS boot type of things, console redirection right here, where you can redirect your serial port at what rate to your things. Full boot options here, timeouts, delays, boot option reties, network boot, Pixie boot, everything you want. So that's the BIOS of our server here. All right, so let's take a look here at the LSI Mega RAID SAS BIOS. This right here will allow you to configure all your RAID and support all of your disk drives right here. Right now it's telling us that we removed some disk drives. That's okay. We're going to continue loading the RAID configuration disk drives. Comes up right here. You have an address for your single Mega RAID controller. You can support multiple Mega RAIDs. Notice it has this battery coming up right there. Now it's going to the serial ATA BIOS and figuring out what's on the bus. It has a command line interface or a GUI interface for the Mega RAID controller, where we can use a video and mouse, or you can use a command lines to create RAID arrays. So now we're taking a look at the web BIOS for the LSI Mega RAID controller. See here adapter properties, which will show you that you have a gigabyte of cache on the unit. Right now are 512 megs, depending on which configuration you get. You can hear that you can look for scanning devices to see what's available in there. Right now we don't have anything inside our enclosure, but it shows you can do up to 253 addresses, which is 256 minus that. You can create virtual drives or physical drives. Physical drives are RAID arrays laid out across actual drives. You can then break them into smaller sizes. So let's say I make a 3 terabyte disk array. I can then break that up into 30 100 megabyte virtual disks. We have a configuration wizard that's really easy to do. Just go and select a new configuration if you want to do it, and you can even auto configure if you prefer. So that's the look at the Mega RAID BIOS that comes with the SAS hardware RAID controller. So thanks for taking a look at our rackable storage disk array. If you have any questions, you can give us a call to our sales reps. We'll be happy to configure it with any hard drives you want. We have everything in stock. We have these systems complete in racks as well if you're an enterprise customer, and we can store up to 50 terabytes per rack with these disk arrays and 3 terabyte hard drives. Thanks for checking in with Unix Surplus.